In a dramatic rescue operation, authorities confirmed that all trekkers stranded in a remote Himalayan valley near Mount Everest in Tibet have been safely evacuated following days of intense blizzards and freezing conditions. The large-scale operation, involving Chinese military helicopters, Tibetan rescue teams, and local volunteers, brought relief to hundreds of adventurers who had been cut off from the outside world since the severe storm hit over the weekend. The blizzard, which struck the region without much warning, dumped several feet of snow across high-altitude routes leading to the northern approaches of Mount Everest, known locally as Chomolungma. The sudden change in weather trapped hundreds of trekkers, guides, and porters in isolated mountain lodges and temporary shelters. Communication with many groups was lost due to damaged satellite links and power outages, sparking fears for their safety amid sub-zero temperatures and dwindling supplies. By midweek, emergency response teams launched coordinated air and ground operations despite the challenging weather. Helicopters made multiple trips to ferry stranded hikers to safer locations, including the base camp in Tingri County, where medical tents and temporary shelters had been established. The Chinese Ministry of Emergency Management stated that all known missing persons had been located, and no fatalities were reported, a remarkable outcome considering the scale of the disaster. Rescuers described perilous conditions: whiteout visibility, icy winds, and unstable snow layers that made every landing a gamble. "It was one of the toughest missions we've faced in years," said a member of the Tibet Autonomous Region's Rescue Service. "The terrain was unpredictable, and every minute counted. But our priority was clear: no one would be left behind." Many of the trekkers were foreign nationals from Europe, the United States, and Southeast Asia, who had traveled to Tibet during the fall trekking season, considered ideal for clear skies and breathtaking views of the Himalayas. However, climate scientists note that weather patterns in the region have become increasingly erratic due to global warming, with storms now forming more rapidly and lasting longer than in previous decades. Evacuated hikers recounted harrowing experiences of being trapped inside lodges as snow piled up to window level. "We couldn't see anything outside for 2 days, just white," said one hiker from Germany. "Our guide kept telling us to stay calm, but when food started running out, we knew we needed help." Medical teams have reported that most of the evacuees suffered from mild hypothermia, altitude sickness, or frostbite, but all are expected to recover. Supplies of food, blankets, and medical kits were airlifted to villages along the trail to support local residents who were also affected by the storm. The Tibetan government and Chinese Red Cross have pledged further aid to repair damaged infrastructure, including mountain roads and communication towers. International embassies have expressed gratitude for the swift response and coordination that prevented loss of life. The incident has reignited debate about the risks of high-altitude tourism amid increasingly unstable weather conditions. Environmental experts warn that the growing number of trekkers on fragile Himalayan routes, combined with melting glaciers and unpredictable climate shifts, could lead to more frequent emergencies. They urge better monitoring systems, early warning technology, and mandatory emergency preparedness for trekking groups. Despite the ordeal, the successful rescue has been hailed as a triumph of coordination and determination. "The Himalayas test human endurance," said a senior rescue coordinator. "But this time, it also showed how compassion and cooperation can overcome even the most extreme challenges." For the trekkers, many of whom came seeking adventure and spiritual renewal, the experience became a reminder of both the beauty and danger of the world's highest mountains. As the skies cleared over Everest once again, the region began returning to its silent, snow-clad peace, a landscape that demands respect and humility from all who venture into its vast, unforgiving height.